Yes, the House should go vegan, and as a matter of urgency. You might wonder why I'm not so concerned with people being vegan. People often say, stop forcing your views onto me. Why are you trying to force your lifestyle onto us? Well, I can assure you I don't have some narcissistic goal of wanting you to be like me or to join me. Yes, the House should go vegan, and as a matter of urgency. Yes, the House should go vegan, and as a matter of urgency. You might wonder why on earth I'd be so concerned with people being vegan. People often say, stop forcing your views onto me. Why are you trying to force your lifestyle onto us? Well, I can assure you I don't have some narcissistic goal of wanting you to be like me or to join my cult. The motivation is connected simply to the concept of supply and demand. When you go to the store, you take flesh or milk off of the shelves. They replace it with more, subsequently subjecting more animals to a life of abject suffering and a brutal killing. So the motivation is not to force my lifestyle onto you, but rather I want you to stop forcing your lifestyle onto other animals. For you, it costs just a few quid for a pound of chicken. For the animals, they pay the ultimate price. The vast majority of animals in the UK and the world are farmed in filthy factories. But you might find that hard to believe because of the lie you've been sold. What humans do to animals in order to obtain their flesh, milk, eggs, and skin is, in numbers, unequivocally the largest moral atrocity humanity has ever committed. Only 110 billion human beings have ever existed in our world's history. We kill more feeling sentient beings than that in a mere 6 weeks, by the most conservative of estimates, and all for trivial and needless products. In fact, since my talk started, we've already slaughtered over 2.5 million animals, and after just these few words, another 32,000. And just like that, minute after minute, hour after hour, millions of animals massacred, and for what? A burger? A ham sandwich? A chicken wing? I bet you probably couldn't remember what you ate for lunch last week. That's how little it meant to you. But for the animals, it was all they had. Now, these numbers are unfathomable. We're talking between 1 and 3 trillion land and marine animals every year. But even if you were to believe that a human life is worth 1,000 animal lives, 1 million animal lives, when we crunch the numbers, we surely should have reached the threshold to which you would consider our treatment of animals up there with the worst of moral crimes. If you don't, I'm sure the animals would see it that way. You see, it's easy to look at an issue from our perspective and say it just doesn't matter. But as famous animal rights lecturer Gary Yourofsky once said, when you're the victim, things look a lot differently from that angle.
Brothers, sisters, happy Saturday. And here we are. A couple things I wanted to talk about today. I thought was interesting. First of all, let's take a look at crypto weekly analysis. Bitcoin tops 41K. This is a bull run imminent to 50. Turning the tides of a bearish week with a sharp move reclaiming 41K mark. Bitcoin seems prepared to reclaim the lost momentum. Further, the sweep's quick reversal marks a dominating move for buyers below the 40K zone. With pressure buyback move in Bitcoin, this weekend comes on a more vital note in the crypto market, bringing a boom in major sectors. The markets plan to start February on a more vital note. It should be very interesting. We will be heading into February very soon. Will that be a stronger month for us? It seems the grayscale selling as of for now has halted and slowed down, right? This is not a grayscale move anyways, as far as we know. It's the holders. We're talking about 150 base point fee versus 25 basis points, or 50, so people are getting out that couldn't get out, and people are getting out to get into a lower fee ETF. When we're talking millions and millions, those fees add up very quickly. With the refreshed sentiments and refueled bullish anticipations, and that's only from old timers, right? We have a lot of retail still on the sides. You know that. And let's see what the volume is. I bet you were in the 40s. Yep, 43. What will it be tomorrow? Will we have the Sunday sell-off? I don't know. Because we have. It has not missed in months now, having a Sunday sell-off. With the refreshed sentiments and refuel bullish anticipations. Frequency of signals supporting an upcoming bull run is added up. But how high will Bitcoin go in 2024? Will it reach the 100K mark or the 1 million milestone? What? 1 million never. Not in at least a short time. Who is going to buy when we get to the 100K? We are going to have such hard resistance. We might pop over 100K, 101, 102, and then boom, my thoughts are down because, who is going to get in that? You're going to be buying Satoshis. No one is, your average person is not paying 100 grand for a Bitcoin. I'm not. Most of you are not. 100K for one Bitcoin for it to 4x. I mean, how long will that take, right? We're not going to go from 100K to 200K like we go from 42 to 50. It just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. It is virtually impossible for that to happen quick. That will be a slow move. When everyone in the last bull run was calling for 350K and 250K, I said there's just no way that can happen. And everyone is following, I'm hearing over and over the sentiments of following the history of the halving and everything. That makes sense. But truly, we do not have, it's a macro, right? It will get squeezed down no matter what. And could we have a drop after the halving like we typically do? Sure, but that's macro induced. And then, of course, if sentiment is back, we will have a supply shock and we will have no choice but to go up, which is great. And I was listening to Lark this morning, and he was going over this, looking over the history, and he's, you can't make this shit up. It's right on the dot. 78 days for this, and a total of 365 days for that, and it matched up. That's just luck. There's no. If there was a true grid of how this works, it would be easy. Nothing's easy. So please do not rely on that. Will we go up after the halving? Absolutely, with the supply shock. But if the macro environment turns to hell, we will go down. We are reliant on that. Sorry, we get some of our satellites blown up by China or whatever. Bitcoin's going down. We start get into a World War III. This is not a hedge. It goes down, right? Along with every market. Now, is war good for the economy? Technically, yeah. For our industrial war complex. But, we're not on the verge of World War III. Just saying that it's not a hedge against war. It's just not. Nor is it a hedge against the macro at this point. Follow tech. Follow the rest of the market. Alts follow Bitcoin. Ethereum follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin does well. Alts do well. When Bitcoin goes down 10% or 5%, we go down 30, 40, 50 on alts. So do I see us doing 100K? Sure. I have no timeline on that. And anyone who knows that, thinks we're going to be at all-time highs at the end of the year, my guess is sentiment's good. Absolutely. But who knows? Sentiment changes on a dime. We were in the midst of a bull run, and then Elon Musk opened his, people were calling it out. I called the bear market exactly on November 24th. I told you it was going to happen a year ago. That's just pure luck. Pure luck. And, you got BitBoy Ben, crazy man, pay for this and I'll tell you this prediction. Pay for that. I'll tell you exactly when the bull market is going to end. Nobody knows. Don't fall for it. We ended because first, Elon's sentiment, we're not going to accept Bitcoin anymore due to the environmental hazards. Then the inflation transitory statements, and then it kept rising. And then our war, yes, it is our war. It's not Ukrainians' war. Ukraine is our front line, but it's America's war. We're paying for it with Russia. And then before that, the COVID variant that came out at that point. That is when we dropped, right? It was that SARS variant right after Thanksgiving. And I won't forget it because I spent about 70 grand 2 days before loading up. And then we went straight down. And then it was bear market central, with inflation and us raising rates, every second we could. Jerome Powell could. So, and anyone who knows what we're going to do in regards to lowering rates No one knows. There's guesses out there. There's bets right on Wall Street, and there's things baked into the market. But I can tell you this: if we do lower rates, that will be great. You will see a big spike in the stock market and in the crypto. So starting the week on a bearish note of 4.89%, Bitcoin lost the 40K level on Monday, resulting in a huge bearish candle. However, the sharp sell-off failed to ignite a vast bull run, leading to the long liquidation on Monday. That is true. Days following the fall were quiet and led to multiple candles, doji candles. The lower price rejection set a bullish stage for Bitcoin by returning the support base at the 38.20% Fibonacci level and 38K mark. Yeah, I'm glad we did bottom where we did, and we'll see what happens. Right, we're not out of the woods yet. We got to get back into the 45K range. But I don't know about you, but my sentiment looks great. It feels great. I'm pretty happy with the way things are looking. But tomorrow will be a sign. I'm just curious if we're going to have that sell-off, and if we do, I'll be here to pick up some of the pieces, which I've been doing. A couple things I wanted to talk to that I learned about over the last few weeks, and I jumped in on one was. Start with, well, first let's look at the market, right? Very quiet today. This is typical. Now what we're seeing, this was during the week. We were in the 30s forever during the week volume, so this is not great. We want to see it up, but until sentiment comes back, this will, on the weekends, we'll get 70, 80 billion on the weekends. Then we know we're in a true bull market and sentiment is back. I've been saying this, but man, I'm pissed that Ethereum did not blow through to $2,000. I really was looking in more as just a safety play with some of the riskier stuff I wanted to pick up Ethereum in $1,800 range. I was hoping he was going to have a sell-off like Bitcoin, but nope. It stayed pretty much as a stable coin. Yeah, we lost 300 points, but I wanted to see it break below $2,000, just because I know eventually we're going to hit all-time highs on that, and it's a safe play with all of the risk stuff that we all put into our bank. And when I say bank, alts. So nothing too crazy right now, as you see. Shocker, right? XRP, Cardano. Slowly making its way up, right? Got to get back to the 50 cents. This has just got to get to the 75-cent area. Why is it so hard for that to be, $0.75? It's, I'm sure you're sick of hearing me say that, but it's ridiculous at this point. AVAX still in the range between 30 and 33. So nothing crazy moving on the big boys at all. Then we have some gainers here. Okay, some of the ones I've picked up on. Funny enough to see some of the risky plays that I'm in doing well. And in the top here, Polyswarm. That's what I'm going to talk about. Been talking about that for. I started getting into this 7 months ago. Have a ton of circuits of value, and there's our AIOZ. Good to see that in the top gainers, but it's not doing anything. It's still in the 13 cents range. We got to get that back up too. Once it hit in the 20-cent area, it hasn't been able to get back there, but I'm hoping, with momentum, we'll get back to a 15-cent support. I believe this is a great buy for the AI play. I really do. Fetch AI is even better, but this is, this is 13 cents. Fetch is, 50, 60 cents now. So, not that doesn't have room to move, but I believe AIOZ has more room. Let it catch up to Fetch AI. It's a good investment right now for me. Get that back to the dollar region, and so what? A couple that I jumped into here. Ondo being one of them. Okay, Ondo Finance. Right, bought some yesterday and this morning. Good volume, circulating supply of 1.4 billion. Has a total supply of 10 billion, but the good thing is we don't get another 1.7 billion for I think 300 and some days, 356 days. So I mean, we got a year until we get another unlock, right? Yeah, I wish it was less. I wish we were at like a 4 million circulating supply, but 1.4 billion. Got a long way to go here. So we got a whole year to keep it at 1.4 billion, and hopefully sentiment. It's 136 popularity and here, but what does it do? This is what I liked. Okay, if you like, Ondo Finance was created to bring institutional grade financial products on chain, including tokens backed by U.S. Treasuries, Flux Finance, which is huge. Flux is Flux Finance is a decentralized lending platform that supports Ondo Finance's tokenized U.S. Treasuries. Ondo is used to govern the Ondo DAO and the Flux Finance protocol. Right. So if you hate the banks, if you hate U.S. markets, this is not the right one for you. It is for me, because if you're not diversified, what are you? And this is a new, there's more and more of this, right? I got into Goldfinch. You can look at that too, and there's Maple. Those were the options. Well, passed on Maple, got into Goldfinch, and this. I'm going to keep a close eye on this. Even when you go to buy it, it warns you. This is a risky play. It could, it's new. It could go. It's not actually new, but it's new to Coinbase, and so I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. And if I like what I see, I'm gonna keep DCAing in a lot. I mean, a lot to me. Probably $3,000 to $5,000 worth. I will try to DCA in, and if I see it making a move, which it already has, I'm not going to DCA. I'm all in. I'm willing to risk some stuff on this just because these reasons. I love that it's our evil overlord, one of them at BlackRock. Mentioned how he loves the tokenization of things, right? Tokenization of products, and this is it. This is working with the financial systems. So backed by Founders Fund, Coinbase, Pantera. It's got a lot of money behind it. Funds invest exclusively into multi-billion-dollar, high-liquid, exchange-traded funds managed by the world's bond managers, BlackRock, PIMCO. Go to their site. I like it. Our executive team has a diverse experience across leading institutions like Goldman, Bridgewater, Millennium, and MakerDAO. How can you go wrong with that? Ondo's mission is to make institutional grade financial products and services available to everyone via the power of the blockchain, both by tokenizing real world assets, RWAs, and developing financial protocols that integrate those tokens. The ecosystem is the set of partners aligned with the mission, a network of strong partnerships, and leading the on-chain providers across liquidity, custody, and other key on-chain services. This, I look at some, they're involved with. Look, this could be a red flags, a project like this to our gal Elizabeth Warren and the Democrat team, who are anti-crypto in our government, but shall see about that, right? I mean, if the SEC wins over Coinbase, they're screwed. We're all screwed anyways. Cardano, Solana, I believe Decentraland's on that. 9 other tokens. So, God forbid that goes against us. We're in bad shape no matter what. But I really, like I said, if you're a totally decentralized mindset, this is not right for you. Hey, what's up, Metalmania? How are you doing? So I got a couple screens open here, so it's hard to read the chat. I'll see if I can open something on OBS. It's having issues. Chat. Let's see if I can get this to work. I almost picked up some of the Ethereum name service token we've been discussing. Would have been a good buy. I'm keeping a close eye on it though. Yeah, hope you're having a good weekend. It's starting to warm up here, thank God. Which is nice. See how the chat's not working on OBS? That's why I'm using two computers. And not working. Do a test here. Test. And there's always computer crap. But talking about this Ondo token, I take a... so it's working on that side. Weird. Working on the YouTube side, not working on the OBS side. Check out this Ondo. It's looking good to me. I've been picking up some, and I'm hoping for a drop like we've been getting on Sundays and pick up more. It's had quite a bit of a run since it got listed on Coinbase, but I'm liking what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing about. Dug into this pretty deep over the last couple weeks, and I'm into it. It's a little bit risky, but I like it. What else are they saying about this? So good partners. Like I said, if you're totally decentralized mindset, it's not the play for you, but I'm into diversification, and this in Goldfinch is what I'm in regards to the financial markets. Goldfinch is, an interesting one as well. Their circulating supply is not great, but it's better than Ondo's. Fancy. I'm not fancy, that's for sure. So, yep, the DCA in this bad boy pretty good. They're only about 25% vested, but I got to find out their token unlocks in this. What I like about Ondo is, we've got another year until they have any more unlocks. So this is not bad here. I think this will get wind. The only problem here is the volume is crap, but that'll pick up as well. With Ondo you have, quite a bit, 100 million. And this one I like is that I've been picking up a lot of. It's Polyswarm. I have a ton of this too. It's nice to see these in the gainers, but Polyswarm, that's on the security side, and pretty sharp guys who've been in the cyber security forever. It's more of a degen play, but I wanted to diversify it a little bit. Sol and Stake 10% currently, hold BTC and Link. Yeah. Staples of crypto world is what No, I don't see anything wrong with that. I was just mentioning that I wanted to pick up some Ethereum. I was hoping when we dropped off that it was going to be a little more significant, to be honest with you. It was significant with everything except for Ethereum. Ethereum down to, $2,some $100, $2,200, $2,300. That just shows how strong it is, right? I didn't want to buy any more here. I want to get it at $1,700 and $1,800 because you're getting $4,000 to $5,000 eventually out of it. Better than having it in a bank account. To me, it's more like having, with all the diversification many people have, including myself. I'm not that crazy. You have something that is going to double or triple. You just know it. At least in my mind, we're beating all-time highs when we're in the true bull run, meaning a couple months from now or pre or post halving. I think it'll be more post, but look, we get over 45K, sentiment's coming back hard. That's just, and it'll push us up to 50K in my view. I like ETH, bought a little more, didn't recover as fast. No, it won't, because it also didn't drop as fast. That's just the way, that's how ETH is, right? It's not pathetic like my XRP and Cardano, but that's okay. That will have its movement. It's just Ethereum does not move fast until it moves fast, right? When it really gets momentum, goodbye. It's up. Yeah, I agree. Lots of Sol memes. Yep. Yeah, that would be great. I think that'll pick up momentum for Sol as well once we get some of more those memes. And I don't buy memes, but and I know you don't. Um, this is for my DGen stuff. I'm good to see two of my bigger decent plays here are in the biggest movers. But what goes up comes down. Um, but also, like as I was saying with Polyswarm, it's just a different play. It's completely different. Uh, it's a utility token on ETH used to power the Swarm marketplace. It's a network for detecting malware. NCT rewards are distributed to users who provide relevant cybersecurity threat intelligence. It's just different. It's diversified. No one's really doing that. Why not? I like, don't have a fortune in it, but I got a few grand in it. And it's such a cheap price. Fortunately, it's got a big supply. It's not horrible. It's take that, 1.5. I mean, that could be at 10 cents in a heartbeat. It does not take much. It will not take much to move that. And look at the volume. The volume a few weeks ago was 1 million. So that is showing interest. And no one's really scalping this thing at this price. They are loading up on it. Could they sell it at 2 pennies? Sure. But I mean, how can you not throw in some money at that price, in my view? And that's what I've been doing for, I got it below, I got like 0.091, 0.088. So I'll just hold on and see what happens. Despite deepest into the ecosystem I invest is the biggest DEX, or usually, yeah, IT chain. Makes sense. You got your niche, and I'm usually not as diversified. This bull run, I'm changing things up a little bit, or I have been for about a year, and getting into different plays that I think will benefit me. Already has in regards to some, like Near and Stacks. I have no complaints how that's doing for me right now. I'm glad to see Near coming back a little bit, because I was watching that as a falling wedge, or whatever the heck TA guys call it. It just could not. I was always conservative too. I'm conservative with my main stuff, but I also have a bag of powder that I am not conservative with. Near, I think, is a great play personally, and got that at a. I think my average is $1, and I think every dollar goes up, it's like $2,000. So I'll 2 or 3 grand, and same with Stacks. I think I've put about $5,000 into Stacks at $1 is my average price, something like that. And so ones like that I know will follow Bitcoin, especially Stacks. But Near, I want to see get back up to $4.50. I believe that was like 4.69 or something like that. Was where we were. Oops. Get us back up there. Get some more support at $4. I'll feel good. We got to get. I've seen you a couple times, Metal, on Bob's cast. He does a good job. He's just not very vested into it. I always I think his price predictions, when he throws out price predictions, I was trying to the other day. I was just watching. I don't comment on there, but because I always have it kind of playing in the background. People, whether it's him or I need to laugh. I can't even listen to Ben Armstrong anymore. I just can't even do it. Even I just like to go on there to laugh. I can't even deal with it. His voice and his BS and his threats. Do you listen to him at all, Armstrong? But with Bob, who I like, especially he's a Wisconsin. He lives in Wisconsin. I'm in Illinois. His price predictions, I don't fully get. Like people, he's so willingly, and like so many people do. Oh, it'll 10 times X, oh, I can see it at 30 cents. You know, without knowing a coin, you can't just like look at something and assume it's going to go up 10 times in the bull market. Most things do, but you know, without knowing the project. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's some good ones out there. Like Crypto News or a guy in Puerto Rico. He does a, his name Rob, I believe. He does a really good job. He's kind of invests like I do, you know, kind of been around the block like you and have a conservative side like you, but then have a more risky side, more risky play. I mean, I think he's like in 80 some projects. That's a little too much for me, but um, you know, I also like what's that? Crypto Bacon, I think his name is. I'm against bacon, but he virtual bacon. I think his name is. He's good. He's good. He does good reviews, more on the tech side, but he's right on the money. Him and I've been listening to Lark for years, and I gave him a break for a couple years and started listening to him again. And as long as people aren't shilling too much, I mean, he pushes a few things, but you know, he has sponsors. That's what he does for a living in New Zealand. So more power to him. Yeah, I like the news outlets. I know Bob, he reads the news instead of listening. I prefer to do both. I like listening to the guys while I'm driving and just around the house. You know, get different perspectives. I just don't like the BS when I do like on Discover Crypto. I have to say I'm not fans of any of them except for really the newest guy, young guy, 25 years old, I believe, Josh. He's got a sharp take. I don't like his threats of likes and all that, but um, he's a pretty sharp guy. You know, I like both sides, the news, the realistic views, and then some of the tech guys like the Virtual Bacon. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's got some good reviews and some. He gets deep in the weeds on certain tokens, which goes over my head. Um, but you might get some good stuff. Yeah, Sin City, not my bag. I tried. I first got turned on to them from BitBoy. I believe he was doing some stuff with them. I don't like, you know, don't care for their show. Liked Banter for a little bit, and just can't do it. You know, you like who you like. Uh, you know, people get on other people's nerves the more you listen to them, right? Like I'm sure I'm getting on yours. That's right. I agree with you there. I agree. You know, we all have opinions, just like we all have other things. You know what I'm saying? So near, I'm digging. I'm very happy because this was hurting to see this constant. I was not finding any support, and boom! Thank God, thank you Bitcoin for coming back because that is what turned us around a little bit. So if I can get us over $3 on Near, I'll be a happy guy. Just to get some support, but you know, support means nothing, right? And when Bitcoin drops, you know when it drops, we triple, quadruple what Bitcoin's doing. Exactly. Yeah, and data's only. I agree with you. Uh, that's why the price prediction things. I don't take anyone's word for it. I hate hearing it because they don't know. No one knows. And when people throw it out so willy nilly, my biggest concern is not for me. It's for people just getting into. Actually, it's not just people because I've seen the same people for 3 or 4 years. George, what's the price? What's going to be the price on this? Bob, what's going to be the price on this? You know, it's like what? Figure that out yourself. I mean, they don't know. You know, especially when they do it so fast and they just throw it out there. Oh, it's $10, $20, you know, $1,000. There's gullible people and they need to be careful, but you know, it's kind of their fault. But I hate to see people get hurt because they do, because they take, you know, some of these guys' uh, price predictions as the word of God. They really do. So that's kind of why I started this. And some people reached out to me, which is nice, and I just told them to be careful. And you know, you got to take what everyone says with a grain of salt. That's why I kind of do like Bob's channel because he kind of just has a conversation and answers questions. He's kind of a very opinionated guy. He's very sharp, very sharp. Um, but you know, if anyone actually knew price predictions, they wouldn't be making content. They'd be in, on their own island, uh, keeping it to themselves, right? I would say they are being intellectually dishonest. However, I don't think they're. Yeah, I agree. Intellectually dishonest. Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like scammers. It troubles me, and I saw too many people get hurt with BitBoy last bull run. He hurt a freaking ton of people, and I don't like babies, and he's a baby suing people for talking about him. Yet he talks shit about everyone and brutal. Not a good guy, talking about being a good Christian and this and that. Well, I would say it's his own business, but he shared it. But while he's doing what he's doing to his wife and to his kids and everything, it's not cool. I don't care who's right or wrong with the TJ thing and all that. They're both scammy. If you look at the stuff, if you look at the TJ video, and do I like drama? We all find it entertaining. Maybe you don't, but I certainly do with what happened, because Ben's not a good guy in my view. Pros and cons to every channel. Some real comments, some only read. Exactly, paid comments. Some have zero money. Yes, and 97. Some think they have everything. Some will be more open discussion. Actually, absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. I want to have a discussion with this thing, and I don't. The whole Altcoin Daily. I think they do beautiful videos, but it's just videos. It's good if you want to just go there for news from yesterday, right? It's not the daily news. It's the yesterday or 3 days a daily ago news. Beautiful, constructed, produced videos, but when I found out they're getting paid $40,000 per coin review, that's pretty impressive. I just as you mentioned, the dishonest people bother me, and there's that's in every industry, that's in everything. So hopefully there's some honest folks out there. I think Bob is one, and I think his name is Rob, is one in Puerto Rico as well. And you got to fill it out. Anyone who's shilling something and saying sign up for this premium group, or I'll share this with you in my premium group, they're a scammer in my view, and that won't change. They want, if having 1 million viewers or 500,000 viewers and having links below. And I'm going to do a Tangent review because I think it's a great wallet. That's the only reason. I'll give one away. So commercial grade channels now. They have many employees. Yep. Big teams. Yep. Yeah, a lot of big teams. I know Discover Crypto is bleeding pretty hard, but I think Josh was a good addition to them. He should do his own thing. The other guys, I don't even listen to when Josh talks. I kind of listen because I've gotten some good picks from him, to be honest with you. That's what I like about the channels. I like to hear the news, and I like to hear the opinions. And then I hear of a project that I never heard of, Ondo being one of them. Ethereum name coin, like you told me, right? If I didn't do this, I would never have heard of it, and I like it. But when you have when you get to be, try to grow so fast like BitBoy did, and went from him being in his closet or doing what I'm doing, right? He did it much nicer, produce videos. That's not my thing. That's not why I'm doing this. Then you have, keep hiring, and then all of a sudden you've got to do what you got to do and get sponsors to be able to afford it. But when you're like he does now, threatens sponsors if you don't get up to 1,000 likes or whatever. That's just annoying. And stay on topic too. These guys got to stay on topic. That's what I love about freaking Bot. Boom, boom, boom. He bangs it out. So I go to sleep to him every night. Put him on in the background and listen to everyone asking him questions. I think it's great. Now, who's that with? My crypto journey? Is that on YouTube or something? Yeah, George's event. George, when is that going on? But what's the crypto journey you're talking about? It has a decent channel for memes and degens. Yeah, the problem with memes is I don't trade on dexes. I don't buy on dexes. So by the time I can buy a meme, which I know you don't buy, it's already bought. It's already done. Once it hits Coinbase, it's done. It's had its move. It might get 5-10% of it, but the Coinbase effect's over. That's done with now with so many coins. It's different when there's 4, 5, 6, 7 coins. Okay. So it's just my crypto journey on YouTube. Okay, I'll check it out. I dig it. I like it. It's amazing how I get turned on to other channels lately. I like some, like I started getting into banter a little bit. I always heard negative things about him, got into it, and then I kind of I heard some great. I like it when he interviews people, but other than that, I feel like they're traders, and I don't trade, so it does me no good. I know you don't trade it as well, so other stuff is pioneer, and that's what I hate on certain channels too, like Ben's, how he talks about his trades. No one gives a shit about your trade. DZ, no one cares about your trade. No one cares. Just stick to the news or stick to stay on task. Okay, I'll check it out, man. Thanks for the tip. Um, is it warming up by you up north? Let's see where ENS is right now. Yeah, I agree with your comments on banter. All right, so we could have picked this up at like I think 15 or so. Yeah, bad move on me. It was close to doing it. I chickened out just because I didn't think we bottomed. To be honest with you, I did not. So I picked up some smaller stuff. I didn't think we bottomed. Um, and the volume's pretty good on this. I think I should have gotten in here that's really when I was looking, but I didn't see this coming ahead of us, right? I didn't see us trending back up. Metastyle though, so I was going to buy in the 70 range and wussed out as well. Pick some up right around here. Yeah, didn't. I love that circulating supply there. Love it. Watching this thing go from $24 up to $100 was painful. Oh, you did? You jumped in? 45, 46 Fahrenheit here? Jesus. I went for a run today outside in Chicagoland. I'm outside of Chicago. It's like 35. Had to turn around after a mile because it was all slush and all the snow melting. I was underwater. Hmm. Nice. Yeah, you stuck to your guns. 15-ish. Nice. Yeah, you did say that, didn't you? I should have pulled the trigger. Maybe we'll have a little sell off tomorrow, like I anticipate. And this, I'm annoyed at too. But I think this won't pump up hard until Bitcoin fires up again. You know, gotta get the momentum back. But volume's so light. Yes, it's the weekend, but still during the week, it's still unsure until we get over 90 to 100 billion a day. I mean, look at that, 35 billion. That's you're not going to move the world with that. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll wait see if we have our Sunday sell off, and if so, I may jump into that boy. I'd like to pick up some more Hondo, but look at the connection. There we go. So I like this Hondo. Got a year until. Check that out. It's a financial tokenization play, but to me it seems pretty good. Yeah, think it could go lower, yes, but no, I think you did the right thing. See, I didn't pick an in, so I didn't. I don't feel as bad about it, right? You said 15 or 30, so you stuck to it, and I think it's going to pay off. It already has, but I think you won't have any issues. I think to me with the supply and the volume, if we get a uptick over the 42,000 range for Bitcoin right next week, I think you could pop up pretty damn quick on this. You could be at uh, $30 easily, right? It's an all-time high on this. 20, 21. I don't know if you're going to see that quick, but I mean, reason you can't get over that hurdle. I mean, no reason at all. I mean, your most recent high was right here. I mean, you're going to double your money. I could see that with any type of uptick breaking out of the 42 range of Bitcoin. I don't know who's deciding on that on the APY. I don't know. I don't stake at all, to be honest with you, because I want to. A lot of times I just want to be in control of mine, and so I miss out on a lot of money. I initially staked back when Cardano and ETH, but I don't do it anymore. So I'm not sure who determines that. But that's pretty significant. And I don't like being stuck. Sometimes you have, a period, a withdrawal period, and I don't want to be stuck to that. Even though there's something good to be said about that, right? You don't make rash decisions when you have 2 weeks to unstake. That can prevent you from making rash decisions. Oh, 2 day. Yeah. That's not bad at all. 2 days is not bad, and that's good. It's actually like, all right, before I send this nasty email, let me walk away from the computer and come back, refresh, and see if I really want to send it. Same with the 2 day, unlock staking. That's not bad. Yeah, yeah. I should be staking mine. I might as well have, right? I don't think I'll be selling it for a good year. I don't see it going. I'd like to sell my ADA at $3 if we can get there. I don't see that happening anytime soon, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me that everything pops except ADA and XRP. No one talks about it, but I do. I believe it's right here and right here. That's a big circulating supply. It's 54 billion in five. Okay, that's very low volume today for XRP and Cardano, right? But this would move most. I mean, it would certainly move Meta's Dow. $100 probably. Pretty close. Yeah, smart. But I mean, it's just amazing to me that this doesn't budge with a half a billion. Typically, it's a billion, in trading volume, but it doesn't budge. And I believe it's this right here. There's circulating supply. You never hear anyone talking about circulating supply with XRP and their price movement. Though it can go up to $1 in no time. We saw that with the ETF rumor. It bounced to $1 almost, right back down to 60 some cents, or 70 cents at the time, but then 60. So it does move fast when it gets serious volume. But I think this is the big factor with these two projects. And I have a crap load of this and a good load of that. Well, XRP has outperformed ADA monthly, yearly. Yeah, it has. But who can brag it? I mean, I own XRP anywhere from like 14 cents to 30. Majority, I believe my average is around 17 to 21 cents, something like that. But when you've held it as long as I have, it's like, when are you going to get to $3, $4? Come on. And I believe if this was a billion, it'd be a lot better for us. And that's why people get frustrated with XRP. It has the volume, but it does not have the movement. I believe it will. I definitely believe it will have its turn. It's just what is it going to take? Are people waiting for the true settlement and the SEC fine? You know what they're going to settle on, and if they're going to settle, maybe that's it. I certainly don't believe there's going to be I hope I'm wrong, but an XRP ETF that everyone's talking about. And that's one of the things that bothers the hell out of me. Someone like Ben saying that my guy, Mr. X, which is a load of shit, is, it's Ethereum and then it's XRP for sure by May. I mean, come on, that's not happening. No one's going to do an XRP. They're not even talking about an IPO anymore because they have to settle what they're going to do. There's no way any company wants to do an XRP. I hope I'm wrong. ETF while they're still fair with the SEC and it's still not totally settled. More gains. Yes, and my XRP is great. I'm up a significant amount from where I bought it, but I didn't buy it to sell it at 60 cents or 70 cents. I mean, I've had it since I think 2016 or something. 17, and I'm good to wait. It's better than my bank account, right? I just started getting interest on a money market for I think it was like 4.25 about 7 months ago. I think I made $1,000 or something like that in like a 6 month time, but it's better than that. That's for sure. I have faith, and I helped through the whole SEC thing. I'm like, well, if I lost it, I lost it. If they lose, then I'm screwed. Fine. I think overall it'll be fine. I just want to see it pop. I just wanted to get to. I have no fantasies that it's ever going to be $50 or $100. Ben says it will be if they get the ETF. I don't see how that happens. Now with the circulating supply, their market cap would be so high. I think the final lawsuit decision is more important to them. Once cleared and or fined, and there will be a fine for sure. Or fined, it should start moving. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And Ripple is a company. They're actually doing a lot of things. But good news for Ripple, minus the SEC stuff, has never. And I'm talking before the SEC happened. It never translated to price. All the Ripple partnerships that they have with MoneyGram and other things, Bank of India, there was a bank in Sweden, all these things, it never translated in price. I believe that's because of this. And I also believe back before the SEC case, most people, not me, hated Ripple XRP because it worked within the system. I'm a work within the system and outside of the system type of guy. That's why I got into Ondo. And I don't care that they're, tokenizing treasuries and all that. I think it's a brilliant idea. If it's going to make us money, you got to play within the system because this decentralization is a wonderful thought. It's not a reality. I see that Brad Garling selling his 18 million home. Really? Wow. Yes, I could have definitely sold it at 150. But it's not good enough for me. I feel like it's never going to get back down to unless something really bad happened, to where I bought it. So I'll just wait. And I don't have short-term capital gains on it. I've held it long enough. We'll just see where it goes. And I've waited so long that if it goes to $3 and I see support there, I won't get out. If it goes to $5 and if I see movement on it, it will be hard for me to sell. I can honestly tell you that because when I first bought it, I had visions of this thing going to a couple $100 without really getting into even $1,000 at one point, getting into the tokenomics of it. And then once I understood that in maybe 2017, I'm like, oh shit, this ain't ever gonna be a $2-3 million coin for me. But I could easily get 500 grand to $1 million out of it if I believe where it could go. Yeah, Brad Garlinghouse is no joke. And I give the guy credit. He went to battle. He had no choice, but they could have caved. You don't need anything happen on. Yeah, exactly. I'm just letting it go. I gotta be honest with you, Metal. I counted it as a loss. I had faith in that they were right in regards to the SEC, but I never thought the SEC would lose. No one thought the SEC would lose against them, in the first, at least the security suit. No one thought that, right? But I held on. I said, I had time to sell it before it went in. I said, you know what? I'm locking in. Let's see what happens. And when Coinbase said we're locking it up, and everyone started delisting, and I said, all right, I'll count it as a loss in my head, and let's see what plays out. 2 years later, here we are. And I just can't believe it didn't stay above $1 after the lawsuit with that pump. How it's mental to me. And I put it on the circulating supply. But not to have support at $1 or $2 when you have some really shitty plays out there at, that are above it, kicking it, Polygon's due for a move too, and this is one thing that, people talking about Polygon. The good thing about Polygon versus Arbitron and Optimism is Polygon has all their tokens out, it should be 10 billion, but 9.6 billion, and Arbitron and Optimism, they only have 1 billion versus I think 2 billion with Arbitron, and everyone thinks that that's a good thing, that all the tokens are unlocked. I disagree. To pump the price shows you differently. Number one, right? Arbitron and Optimism's kicking Polygon's ass. I don't own either of them. I own Matic, but the 10 billion tokens suppresses it. It makes it more difficult to move. It could move fast, but it makes it more difficult to move. When Arbitron and Optimism, with their 1 and 2 billion, they're able to pop much faster. Yeah, they'll have big token supplies, but not for quite some time. And still, it's there. I think it's a couple 100 million release, 1 billion. That's a lot, but it's not 10 billion. So I don't understand people's thinking in regards to that. It's I'd rather be invested in something right now that's only 10% unlocked, and they're not going to have another unlocking for a year and a half, than something that has 10 billion. Even though, I've been in Polygon before, Optimism and ARP were even out, but yes, how you would be if you just listened to the first impression thoughts. Yeah, that's true. Usually my first impressions are the right answer, and I don't always listen to them, and I screw myself up. One being this one right here, my friend. SUI, oddly enough, right? My gut was to go with this over C. Okay, so I chose that over C. C, I believe, is like 67 cents. SUI's at 140. So look at my gut instinct. It was wrong again. So, C was my pick. And, at least right now it's the wrong one. And I got a hell of a lot in it. So I think it'll be fine. I'm in the money on it, but it didn't pop. I'd probably bet you it's 65 cents versus double SUI. So, and those were supposed to be just kind of short-term plays. I was hoping to get a couple dollars out of them, but there you go. First instinct. My first instinct was right, and I didn't follow it. Face value decisions might be more efficient than deep thoughts. Yes, I know. I tend to sometimes overthink things, but believe it or not, a lot of times I don't. The ones that I don't overthink are good. Like this and this. Look, I overthought Ethereum name token that you told me about, right? And you got it at $15, and I freaking didn't because I overthink it. So you need to preach to me more. You're right. You can always find flaws in descriptions and anything and everything. Yes, it is always hindsight. Story of my life. We could all bore each other to death with war stories about hindsight, huh? Look into this one, Metal. Just check it out. I know you're not a degen, but check it out. Check it out. Listening to, I was just watching the Bill Maher show from last night, Max, and Adam Schiff was on there. Adam Schiff was, he went after Trump, and he mentioned, hey, I'd vote for a corned beef sandwich over Donald Trump in this election, and I'm a vegan. I didn't know he was vegan. Haha, love it. And he got turned on by one of my favorite congressmen, Cory Booker, out of New Jersey. Cory Booker's awesome. Scary looking, but he's a very good vegan and helps out animals and, knows to keep his mouth shut about it because he won't get elected if he preaches that too much, but he does a good job. Don't have to be totally outright and vocal. Dot has, I went, here's another one. I kind of went against my gut and bought Dot before it dropped. I think overall it'll be fine. It's a good buy here in my mind. I think it's a good buy. I'm just not going to do it. I bought quite a bit too. And I've never bought it before. I just kind of like, all right, sentiment was good, and I think it's a good buy here, dude. I think overall, if you can be patient, I think it'll be overall a good buy. Did you see that video in regards to Dot that Ben put out a few weeks ago about Gavin? Did you see that? It was crazy. Talking about him wanting to eat babies, paid money to eat babies, and some crazy stuff. I mean, he is a scary looking guy, but if you haven't watched that video, you should check it out. I don't understand how that guy sues people for defamation, and he's talking about he does videos literally on people on how evil they are and all that, and talks shit about them. But he sues people if they talk about him. It's hypocritical at its best. But yeah, you should see that. Check out that video from Ben if you didn't in regards to Dot. Two videos. One on Gavin, right? Isn't that his name? Coins like this that come out into the were inflated due to their bull run launch. Yep. That's unfortunate. I agree. But I see Dot at least, I don't know if it'll make all-time highs. But, my goal, I'm hoping to get at least, 20 or $30 out of it in the bull run. I'm just kind of like bought some and sitting down. I should probably buy more. I don't know. I just think there's better things to buy, right? And I stupidly, a few months back, went against my gut and I bought Cosmos. I shouldn't have done that because Cosmos, you don't necessarily have to use Atom tokens, on their chain. So that's why it never does really well. But I thought I'd diversify a little bit into it. It was a bad move, but that's all right. So I was buying a couple $100 worth of Donk. It makes you smile. You got more patience than I do if he makes you smile. He used to make me smile. Now it's just, yeah. No, I agree. All-time highs. I agree. You will. I think there will be a lot of them that we don't see. I don't think we'll see all-time highs. My personal opinion on that. But I do think it'll have a run when it, in time. Do I see it getting to $52? No, I don't. My personal view. But I don't have enough where it's a life changer anyway. So if it did, I think I'd make 30 grand or something. I would take that. But by the time that happens, I think it'll be another year from now. And it could happen. What's the volume on this? No crazy volume. Yep. Well, nothing crazy. So would be a play for me. Yeah. Yeah. That's bad on me as well. I watched that go up forever and never would. This annoys me too. I watched more that I didn't pull the trigger on than I would like to say. I think it was under $1 that I was really looking at this. It's around here. And I think that was a bad move on me. And I agree this is a better play than Cosmos. I had plenty of time to accumulate. Look at that. Plenty of time. Good buy right there. I just kept watching it go up and up and up and up and up. not knowing that we were going to jump back in. You can only DCA into so many things. And like you said, you never know what's going to come back to all-time highs from the last run. The older projects, a lot of them don't get that momentum back. They just don't. I believe ETH will, and obviously I believe Solana will. Already has, but I believe it will. The more memes you're saying are coming out, it'll have another leg up. Hold tight. I'll be right back. Stuff for the weekend? Yes. Well, you probably bought towards the bottom. I did too on certain things. I just haven't gotten out of anything. I'm still in accumulation phase. Believe it or not, I believe we have some time to still accumulate more. I think we had just one leg up, a nice leg down, and we're in accumulating phase. And it will take not much to drive us right back down. I believe any type of bad news, we're hitting the shitter pretty hard. It'll drive us down pretty quick. Yep, we all rock different. That is the truth. Where are we at here? All right. It is time for me to pick up a kid at a movie. May come on back later, but probably try to jump on Bob's later, so I'll see you there, Metal. You have a wonderful day and weekend, and check out Ando. You're up for some D-Gen play, but it's a little risky. Newer, but I like the backing it has. It has some good backing, and it's a different play for you. Cheers, brother. Be good. Take care of yourself.